For this build, you're going to need Bachmann part number 42101. These are called block signals, and this is how they look in the first place. And you also have that lighter on the back there. But they have little pieces of plastic, and they shine through the light, and it makes it look like they're actual lights. And that's how they work, but they're actually not lighted. And that's how they look. You're going to use Circuitron, part number 800940012, and these are resistors that go from 12 volts down to 1.5 volts. We're going to be using these for the LEDs. The LEDs that we'll be using are Circuitron, part number 8009322, and also we're going to be using part number 8009324. Both these packs come with two LEDs. 9324 comes with green ones, and 9322 comes with red ones. For this project, since the Bachmann kit came with 4 signals, I got 2 of each of these packs, so 4 packs of LEDs total, for a total of 8 LEDs. Wire-wise, you're going to need a strand of black wire and a strand of red wire. These are solid core 30 gauge pieces of wire, and this is optional. You can also use a green piece of wire. This is also 30 gauge. This came out of a USB cable. You can just strip the cables out of a USB cable if you have one. You can use the cables out of those. These are all solid core wires though. Solid core will work the best for this project. You can use stranded, but it won't work as good. The green is optional. If you don't have green wire, you can just use a red and put like black dots on there or something. But the green will be used for the green LED, red for the red LED, and black for ground. And obviously we will be doing soldering. Now note that I already installed all the LEDs on mine. I didn't solder them and wire them, I just installed them. So I'm just going to tell you what you have to do to get to this point. The first thing you're going to want to do is just snap off that bottom piece. You can also use some pliers to take it off if you want. You can use it like this as a kind of standard block signal, but I don't like the looks of those. So what I do is use cutters to cut it flush right under that little round piece. Then you can just use a file to file down the plastic. You want it to be flush on the bottom, nice and smooth. Next thing you're going to want to do is take a screwdriver and just pop out those little pieces of plastic that would be in there. But in this case, since I put the LEDs in already, I can't really do that. So you just want to pop those out. Now what you're going to want to do is install your LEDs. Here's an LED, this is what you would do. First of all, make sure what's positive and negative. That's positive because it has that little spacer thingy. But you just want to bend both leads to the side so it gets out like that. And then you can just pop it right into that hole, holding it upside down. It should fit in there fairly snugly. Don't push it too hard or else it would break the plastic or break the LED. And then you're going to want to take some medium viscosity CA and put it over the LEDs in there, making sure that they're centered and how you want them to be. Now the trick here is to wire them properly, or to make it easier for wiring. The negative poles are going to go on this side, both negatives, and both positives will go on the right side. So the negative leads on the left and positive on the right. The trick is we're going to wire both of those negatives together. So now basically the signal itself is completed. And now it's time for wiring, the hardest part about making these signals. It's because everything is so tiny and you don't want to melt the plastic and yada yada, you don't want to do all that stuff. So I'm just going to do a time lapse on my soldering. I'm just going to show you like basically what to do. A tip for soldering these things is if you don't have those little helping hands, those little like holders, you can put a piece of foam carpet tape down and then just push the signal on there, and it will be easier to solder because you don't have to hold it and then solder it and do all that at the same time. Okay, so first of all we're going to wire the negative leads. This is the easiest out of the two. It's not very easy, but it's the easier of the two. And what we're going to do, we're going to strip a black wire. Okay, so you just want to make sure that the length of the stripped wire will like fit both negative leads. It'll cross over both. Okay, now I have tinned the black wire, and now we're just going to tin both of the LED leads. And be careful not to melt the signal casing. Okay, now both of the negative leads have been tinned, and you're going to want to make sure that the tinned area, or not really a tinned area, but the place you solder is closest that you can possibly get to the signal head without burning the entire thing up. So you just want to get really close to it. Okay, now both of the negatives are soldered to there. And I didn't really burn up the casing too badly. That's okay. If you do, very slightly, you can use putty maybe to fix it, or even just painting over it can make it look better. It's not going to be very noticeable. But now what I'm going to do is clip off those two end leads with my little nippers. Okay, so now, as you can see, I got it as flush as I could get it. It's pretty good looking. And now we're going to do the other side. This is going to be a little bit different. Basically the same though.